Yeah, yeah. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, defend your gen. Let the fun begin. Defend your gen. Then we'll do it again. Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Okay.
Hey, hey. Welcome to Defend Your Gen, the ultimate head-to-head generational battle. I'm representing the millennials, and my dad, he's representing Gen X. Every single week, we pit our childhoods against each other to find which generation actually had it better. Today, we're going to war over 10 massive categories. If you think the 90s and 2000s rule, you're on my team. And if you think the 70s and the 80s were the golden era, you're with that guy over there. Lock in your allegiance, hit that subscribe button, and let the debate begin.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
What are we starting with today?
Today we are going to start with the best movie or TV show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Would you like me to go first?
Sure.
So today we're going to talk about not 19, not 20, but 21 Jump Street. That's right.
Oh.
From 1987, this bad boy lasted 5 seasons. Of course, I think Holly Robinson was the only one that lasted all 5 seasons because everybody else kind of went on their own way went their own way with their own careers. Like Johnny Depp, of course, it actually launched his career, and I think he left in the third or fourth season and started doing his own things. Pretty wise of him, right? Based on his career path.
Oh, yeah.
Um, it introduced audiences to the concept of fresh-faced cops going undercover in high schools. It was funny because these guys were, like, in their early 20s, and they were trying to pose as, like, 15, 16, 17-year-olds,
Mhm.
But, it was actually based on a real life undercover unit within the LAPD. I never knew that. That was a surprise to me. But I doubt they looked as good as the people on this show, because everybody on this show was
Yeah.
just, like, extremely good looking. In
Mm.
fact, Richard Grieco's character, I think he joined in season 2, Officer Dennis Booker, was intended to be killed off at the end of season 3, but
What?
his character became so popular that, he actually started getting more fan mail than Johnny Depp,
What?
and the network ended up giving him his own spin-off series called Booker in 1989. It did not do well, but I mean, hey,
Yeah, never heard of it.
it was 89. A few fun facts about, you know what? I'm gonna stop right there because that kinda goes into my second thing. So I'll
Mhm.
let you go up against 21 Jump Street. What do you got?
Okay, well, this is so different because I chose a movie. But my pick for best movie this week is one of my personal underrated favorites. It is 1995's The Indian in the Cupboard.
Oh, man.
Ooh. Which I know is a little more niche compared to some of the giant 90s movies that we usually bring up when people talk about. But for me, it was really popular in our house. The film follows a kid who discovers that a magical cupboard can bring his toys to life, including his
Mhm.
tiny Iroquois figure named Little Bear. And as a
Hmm.
kid, this concept absolutely blew mine and my sister's minds. I would have loved to secretly bring toys to life. It had adventure, friendship, fantasy, and honestly, a surprisingly emotional story for a family movie. It was just so magical and memorable. I'm sure you loved it too.
I actually did really like that movie, and I've seen it several times because it was just really well done, even though it was a
Yeah,
kid's movie. Um, like, I would have put my GI Joes in that cupboard. I would have put
exactly.
and then
Everything.
things may have got a little weird with the female GI Joes when they came out of there, I don't know. But, there's so many, like, action figures and stuff I would have put in there. What would you have put in there? Bratz dolls?
Oh yeah, Bratz dolls, Barbie dolls, my NSYNC little what are they
Oh, the
called?
puppets.
The marionette.
The
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
marionette.
Ooh, hell yeah.
Oh my you would have had like a 10-inch Justin running around in your
That
bedroom.
would have been amazing.
"Oh my god, dad, I stepped on Justin."
Never.
Wow. That's a really good movie. I totally
Yeah.
forgot about that. That's interesting.
Yay.
Indian in the Cupboard. I bet you there's a lot of people who don't even know what that is.
I know, I feel bad for them.
I feel bad for you, bro.
Mhm.
Cool beans. I like that one.
So what were you gonna say about 21 Jump Street?
Well, I was gonna go into the next category actually, which was,
Oh, okay.
favorite actor and actress,
Oh,
and I was
okay.
kinda tying things together with Johnny Depp because how big is Johnny Depp, right?
Huge, huge.
I
Love
mean,
him.
so some of the facts I found out about him, all you gotta do is a little bit of a dive, not even a deep dive, but to find out things
Mhm.
about people you've never bothered looking, right?
Right.
So he dropped out of high school at 16
Mhm.
to pursue a music career.
Oh, wow.
Did you know that?
I feel like no.
So I think when he was already famous, he formed this rock supergroup, Hollywood Vampires, with Alice Cooper and Joe Perry. Um, and Joe Perry's from Aerosmith. I don't know if you know who that is.
Mhm.
He's Johnny Depp is nearly blind in his left eye, and
What?
based Captain Jack Sparrow on Keith Richards and Pepe Le Pew. I knew the Keith Richards part. I never knew Pepe Le Pew was part of his little
What in
act
the
there.
world?
I know. Another thing is before his acting career took off, he was an active guitarist. He played on tracks for artists like Oasis, Iggy Pop, and Marilyn Manson. Never knew that.
Yeah, I would have never known that because I feel like that's not even something he really shares. I mean, I know a lot of actors have like their side music careers, which is really cool, but I never suspected him.
What is pretty well known is he was a close friend and fan of the Gonzo journalist Hunter S. Thompson, and in fact, he played him in a movie, 2 movies actually, I
Hmm.
think. When Thompson died, Depp fulfilled his final wish by funding the construction of a 150-foot cannon that was used to blast Thompson's ashes into the sky in Colorado.
What in the
How
world?
how cool is that? And I heard about that at the time because I knew what Thompson's final wish was just by knowing who Hunter S. Thompson was.
Yeah.
Crazy, weird, eccentric, kinda awesome dude, actually. Um, and I was like, "Is he really gonna is Johnny Depp really gonna build that cannon to blast him into, the stratosphere?" And he did, and they had a ceremony and everything, but, um,
Wow. That's pretty epic. I've never heard of that.
it is epic, and it's really cool of a friend to kinda do that because you don't have to do anything once the guy dies, right? You just be like, "Hey,
Right.
I got his ashes. I put it on the stove. I put it on the, what do you call it? I said
Did you
stove.
say the stove?
I put your ashes on the stove, bro."
Oh my god.
No. But no, it was such a weird relationship dynamic too because they would be, on interviews together once in a while, and it was
Mhm.
like strange uncle and weird little nephew, But
Wow.
they look like they're having a lot of fun. Last fun fact about him, did you know that he's actually allergic to chocolate even though he's Willy Wonka?
Ooh, I love that. That's really cool. I
I
mean, I
know.
don't love that for him. That sucks.
Yeah, I love that. He could die from a candy bar.
No, I just love that it's that's a crazy I mean, it's not a fun fact, but it is a fun fact, you know?
Not for him. Willy Wonka. Willy Wonka.
Okay, well, that was actually really, informative, and I
Yeah,
did not
I
know any of that.
it's a learning channel is what it is.
Yeah, call us TLC 2.0.
Ooh, I like it. TLC. I'll
So
be left eye, you could be chilly.
okay, that's not what I meant, but alright.
I know.
I seen a rainbow yesterday.
Yo,
Anyway, my
when you say that, it reminds me of the dude from, We're the Millers.
yeah, we're the Millers, that's what I was referring to
That was so
because
good. That was a great part.
so freaking good.
What you
Damn.
got? What you got? What you got?
But my favorite actor is you're gonna like this one, Brendan Fraser.
Oh, the beef rage. Okay.
V. Frage. And honestly, I feel like he's one of the most underrated movie stars of the 90s and early
Mhm.
2000s. A lot of people talk about his bigger action or dramatic movies now, especially after his huge comeback in recent years. But growing up, I always loved his sillier movies the most. So my favorites were Encino Man, Blast from the Past, Bedazzled, and then the absolutely bizarre Monkey Bone. Like what was that?
Wow.
He
I thought you were
had
gonna say George of the Jungle.
oh, that too, honestly, that
Oh,
too, that make that another one. He had the perfect mix of physical comedy, awkward charm, and complete commitment to even the weirdest roles. After years out of the spotlight, he won his academic ac Bro. He
Bruh.
won an Academy Award for Best Actor finally in The Whale in 2023. And
Uh-huh.
honestly, it felt like the entire internet was rooting for him. But for me, Brendan Fraser will always represent the era of weird, fun, and heartfelt movies that never took themselves too seriously. And I honestly think that's why millennials like me still love him.
Did you ever see The Whale?
I haven't, okay, I saw the first opening scene and he was doing some things, and I said, "Oh, I don't really want to watch that." And so I turned it off. And I should have kept going probably because obviously he won an award for it. But I just couldn't really get past the first scene.
What was he doing?
He was watching some stuff and playing with some stuff. And
Oh,
then I
I
think like
see.
his daughter walked in and I was like, let's just save this for another time.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't obviously watch it, but,
I was like, yeah, we're just gonna skip this one.
yeah, now I can't wait to get into it.
Yeah, nah, it's just,
His
uh
his favorite movie I'm sorry, his favorite movie
fun fact,
I'm not in his favorite movie
you're
probably,
not into
but
him.
my favorite my favorite movie of his has to be Blast from the Past. It was such a good
I
movie.
I effing love that movie. Man, it gives me all the feels, and I haven't watched it in so long, I would love to do a rewatch.
Yeah. Yeah, it's on all the time. I mean, depending on how many streaming
Okay.
I mean, I've got all the streaming services, so you always see it, advertised and
Yeah.
stuff, but I didn't really like Bedazzled. In fact, I didn't even get through it all the way. I didn't really care for that one.
I just watched it as a kid and I remembered it.
The concept was kinda silly, but it is what it is. I lump that together with, like, George of the Jungle. That stuff can stay over here.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that
No, I
that
like
just
all those
that
weird
just shows
ones.
he had kind of a wide little bit of a wide range, right?
Yeah.
Especially with The Whale and things he's doing now.
Mhm.
'Cause I've seen him in serious roles, and he's actually a good actor. It's not just a comedy actor.
Mhm.
I think he deserves all the praise he's gotten, and you know, after The Mummy and all those action roles, he had a lot of physical problems and
Yep, I was
decided
reading
to
about that.
yeah, decided to kind of, bow out of the spotlight, but and then he started having weight problems, and a lot of depression, and I'm not sure about, substance abuse, but that stuff kinda goes hand in hand usually. I'm not
Yeah.
saying he had that without reading more into it, but he went through a lot of stuff emotionally and then finally kinda got back on top of once he kinda realized Hollywood's not the reason that I wanna do this, I wanna do it for me, in his
Mhm.
own words, basically. That's when he kind of was like, "You know what? I'm more important than the people that are judging me," even though he's in a very judging kind of career. He
Right.
decided that, he wanted to do things that he wanted to do. He started to get opportunities to do those things, and, he's all the better for it. Because I mean, look how things are working out for him. I'm glad that it's turned it around.
Yeah, because a lot of people can't and won't, and I feel like we don't really hear, big comebacks very often of stars that, had really, like, massive success, and
Yeah.
I know his 2 sons I wanna say they're in the industry too, because 'cause they're on, like,
Oh,
red carpets and all that stuff
I didn't know
with
that.
him. Mhm.
They must be in smaller roles and stuff, but he's getting roles left and right now. I see movie trailers and I see even if it's a small part, it's like, "Oh, there's beef rage."
That's cool because now it's on his terms and his
Yeah,
terms only.
exactly. So it's good to go. Good on you, B.
So,
Alright,
our next category is favorite song or band, which I basically just kind of merged together. Um,
right.
so do you wanna go first?
No, I'll hand it over to you. I've been talking a lot.
Alright, let's do it. Besides the obvious boy bands, my love for them is also shared by other bands in the era as well. So this week, my pick is Weezer.
Oh,
Formed back in '92 in LA, it's awesome that more than 30 years later, they're still making music and touring. My favorite song has to be Island in the Sun because it really just transports you back in time. And of course, I loved it in 2018 when they covered Africa by Toto. I mean, come on, that was huge. And it was like a surprise hit after a fan campaign convinced them to record it, introducing the band to an entirely new audience decades after they first formed.
That's a really good one. I feel like I almost feel like they're my generation because it seems like it's like a band like the Killers. Like it seems like they've been
Right.
out for so long, you know.
Hmm.
But that's gonna be hard to beat. I don't know. Say It Ain't So, by the way, by Weezer is just
Oh yeah,
an, uh,
that's so
an
good.
an American classic. I mean, it was even on like our Rock Band. Remember we would
Yes,
play
I
that,
know.
and
That's what I was just gonna say.
that's how I got to love that song. It's like, hey, I know how to play this on the fake guitar. You know,
Yeah, on the fake
on a
guitar.
plastic guitar, I can really jam on this one.
Yeah, we can slap the plastic bass, yeah.
Say so. Oh, we're gonna get sued. Okay. Um, that was a great pick. I must give it to you.
Yeah.
Now I have a pick that's probably even greater than Weezer, which
Okay.
is not easy to do. Um, my pick this week for best, I'm gonna go best band, and I'm gonna say GNR. Um, in 1985, Guns N' Roses formed by merging two local bands, Hollywood Rose and LA Guns. Hence,
Oh,
right?
that's so
Um,
cool.
did you know that they have the best-selling album of all time?
No.
Yeah, Appetite for Destruction. I remember when it came out and I was probably 15, 14, 15.
Mhm.
They were the biggest thing on TV and radio, and this was before streaming and everything. They were just out there and people just couldn't get enough of Axl Rose and Slash. It was just
Yeah.
ridiculous. Their songs were just in commercials and movies and TV shows, and it was, you couldn't go anywhere without hearing about, Guns N' Roses. But I think their album has sold over 30 million copies, and it's one of the greatest. It's regarded as one of the greatest rock albums in history. And
Wow, I didn't know
every
that.
song, every song is great on that album. Um, the funny thing is, how many Grammys do you think they've won?
Well, obviously, you're asking because it's a low number, so I'm gonna go with, okay, 0, big fat 0. That's so
I don't think
crazy.
they care. I don't think they care either. But
Mhm.
yeah, for I don't know what 40 years now. Yeah, wow.
Damn.
So they've been in high demand for 40 years. Axl Rose can't really sing anymore, but he looks kind of like a lesbian.
Oh,
But I
okay.
mean,
Yeah.
hey, I love lesbians. I have friends that are
Hey, you know
lesbians,
what? Axl Rose, I looked up him, back in his prime, and oh my god, that
right?
boy was fire.
Well, I mean, I don't know,
And
but
his range, come on.
yeah. And then "Sweet Child of Mine" was never really meant to be a song. It was just a riff that Slash would do, and he called it like a circus riff or some funny weird thing like
Oh,
that. And then as soon as Axel heard it, he started writing lyrics to it. And then like within a day, they had a song down, "Sweet Child of Mine." Crazy.
and you know what that makes me think of? The
What?
Step Brothers.
Oh gosh. Yeah. They're supposed to be working on Step Brothers too. So hopefully that's
Ooh, that's
I
cool.
mean, I can't be as good as the first one. The first one was just amazing. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, so Guns N' Roses, Appetite for Destruction.
Wow,
Uh
Guns N' Roses versus Weezer.
yeah,
That's
that's a
crazy.
tough one. I
It's up
mean,
to you guys, though. It's up to you guys. What do you guys think?
Guns
I
N' Roses
mean,
has been around 40 years, although Axl Rose
wow.
has kind of turned into a shell of himself. It is what
Mm.
it is.
Okay, well, that was a pretty good showdown. The next category is favorite snack or candy, and ooh, I got a good one.
No.
One of my favorite snacks from my gen were called 3D Doritos.
Oh, man.
3D Doritos,
Those are
originally
horrible.
released in '98. They were hollow cone-shaped chips that were kind of similar to maybe like Bugles, but not really at all in flavor profile. I don't know. But they came with like a lid that turned into a cup, and you would just like eat them, eat a lot of them,
I forgot about
and it
that.
was really awesome. But sadly, the superior snack was discontinued in the U.S. in 2003. It was later relaunched in 2020 as 3D Crunch, which of course I tried. It wasn't as good as the original, and it was that even that one was discontinued shortly. So I guess they're just not meant to stick around. But I miss them so bad.
I forgot about those, and I forgot about the lid that turned into a cup.
Hmm.
That was kind of not groundbreaking, but it was kinda cool to create something like that, you know?
Very, yeah.
In case Dutch Brothers is listening,
Uh,
we need some drinks over here. We need you guys to be a sponsor, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, they
Um,
need to make a drink where you could turn it into a cup.
ooh, yeah, Dutch Doritos?
Yeah.
Okay, that's not bad. I forget about that one, but they I didn't think they tasted great. I thought they were kinda bad. But I'm
What?
a
No, you
no no
love
no
them.
so I'm a OG connoisseur. The best chip of all time is nacho cheese Doritos, okay? I
Well,
mean, hands
yeah, but
down.
maybe we're better.
And if you have nacho cheese in one bowl who puts them in a bowl? If you have a nacho cheese bag and a Cool Ranch bag, I mean, you got the best of both worlds, right?
Oh, yeah.
My favorite snacky snack to talk about is Little Debbie Nutty Bars.
Ooh.
Officially called Nutty Buddy, okay? They
Mhm.
are the peanut buttery, chocolatey wafer treats that just leave you wanting more. I mean, there's 2 in a package, but who can eat just 2, right?
Oh,
Um,
damn.
the funny thing
That
about
was
these,
too.
the Nutty Buddies are actually older than the brand Little Debbie. So the snack was
Oh.
created in 1959, an entire year before the Little Debbie brand was officially launched, okay?
Mhm.
Um, they're always a top 3 staple. They're part of the top 3 sellers with Swiss rolls, which are really good too, by the way,
Yep.
and oatmeal cream pies, right?
Oh,
Which are
those
a
are
really good
superior.
those are a really good, like, road trip snack, the oatmeal because
Yes.
they don't, like, go bad, you
Or
could have them
melt,
cold
yeah.
or warm or whatever. Um, I was trying to look up and see if I had any, like, fun facts about Nutty Bars. Really the only thing I could find was there was a regional naming debate because many fans, like Nutty Bars have fans, right?
They have a fan
Um,
base, I'm sure. They got a
they
Twitter
still
probably.
debate the name. They were long known as Nutty Bars, but the official box name is Nutty Buddy. So I
Mm.
don't know. I kind of call them Nutty Buddies. It's kind of because it rhymes. It's more
Mhm.
fun, right?
Yeah.
And that's what it says on the box. I've never really called them Nutty Bars, but
Yeah. Nutty
yeah,
Buddies.
Nutty Buddies, good stuff. Now I want to go out and get some.
And I just saw them yesterday when I went to the store, but instead I chose the Little Debbie cakes. They're
I
like
like the
the
brownies, the cosmic brownies.
oh, yeah, those are super good too, but they changed. They, like, reformulated, and they're kinda weird now.
That's true.
Um,
Yeah.
but, ooh, I really like both of them. Both of them were in my childhood. Um,
Well, it's weird because yours is a salty, mine's a sweet, so I think we should have both of them.
yeah, let's just have both.
Alright.
Alright, this brings us into the next category, which is our favorite toy or game.
Yes.
Another childhood favorite of mine was this game. Dun, da, da, dun. I gotta be careful with it, it's a little decrepit. In Sync, Backstage Pass.
Why don't I remember that?
You
Wow.
don't? How do you
No.
not? I was gonna ask you if you remembered it. Um, but, I was recently perusing my Facebook Instinct collector page, which, of course, I'm in that. And a woman on there was saying, "I have this game, it's a little beat up, but I would love to give it to a fan for free." And
Oh.
so I said, "Say less, girl." So I commented, I was the first one. She was like, "Yeah, just give me your address and just pay for the shipping basically, and you can have it." And so it probably came like 2 weeks. 2 weeks later, I think it came from like Louisiana. So it made its way, to me, and I mean it is falling apart, but I don't care. Like I don't care. So it's a trivia style game where you collect each of the band members to basically win the ultimate backstage pass. And I had this game. That's why I wanted it so bad, and I instantly was like, "Oh my god, I have to have it." Because I had it when I was like, 7 or 8 years old, and I love this game. But obviously you don't remember it, but, to me, it's just so classic, and I I wish I could, like, make the box better or something.
It would be so amazing and such a better story, and you kinda should have faked it by writing stuff on it, if it was your original game that made it back to you and it had your name
Yeah.
on the inside of
It
some
could
things,
be,
'cause
I don't know.
yeah. No, that's really cool, I like that, I like the fact that you just happened to be,
Yeah,
like, she
it's
happened to
so
have it,
cool.
you guys were in the same Facebook group, because that's really now you need to get other stuff from her.
Yeah, and then other people were commenting, and she was like, "Oh, sorry, like, it's gone."
Oh, wow. That's cool.
So, I love this so much. This is, like, the actual board.
Have you played it yet?
I haven't, but, I mainly to be honest with you, I feel like I really wanted it for this reason
Uh-oh.
alone,
What do we
was
got?
for the lanyard, the InSync lanyard that comes with it. It's
Oh,
the actual backstage pass.
wow.
So, yeah, it's really, really cool.
So if you had a time machine, you could get backstage in the '90s.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
That's really cool, and
Thanks.
that's, I like your little show and tell, that's part of it, you know?
Yeah.
Um, okay, so that got
More
me
coins.
thinking when you were showing and telling that, maybe I should try a little show and tell, about my favorite game from when I was a kid, although it's
Okay.
very generic, and you're gonna see why. Hold on. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm right here in the closet. I'm grabbing I'm grabbing something. I'm still here.
He
La
wasn't
la la
prepared.
la. Talk amongst yourselves. This this is this is gonna be
Eating the
silly.
popcorn. Eating the
This is
popcorn.
gonna be silly, but it is what it is.
Drinking my
So,
drinks.
wait. Do 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 do. I'm back. Now then, um, I so when I was a kid, I was, I don't know, 9, 10, 11. I spent the weekend over at my cousin's house a lot because he didn't have
Oh,
any brothers, and my brothers were older than me, and we were about the same age. So my dad would always drop me off at the like Friday after school. He'd take me to Chris's house,
mhm,
and our grandma lived with him and his mom. And shout out Grandma Betty,
mhm.
rest in peace. She taught us this game called Hand and Foot, which is a variation of canasta. And what you need for Hand and Foot is a shit ton of regular playing cards.
Mhm,
What I have here is a shit ton of regular playing cards.
mhm,
It's fun because I tried to teach it to Jody, and it's just a fun game. You can play it
mhm.
with two people, but it's kind of ridiculous because the scores get really high and everything. You should
Oh,
play it with at
wow.
least three. So it'd be Chris, myself, and our grandma. And what it is it's a matching and melding card game where you build books, and each book is called a canasta.
Oh.
And canasta is a slower version. Hand and foot is a bit faster, and you play with more decks, usually 5 or 6. We probably use 12 because
Mhm.
the more decks you put in, the more wild cards you get because twos are considered wild, and the
Oh.
jokers, of course, in each deck are wild. So you want to build all these books, and then you deal yourself a hand. Well, whoever's dealing, there's two people dealing. One person deals the hands that you pick up, and one person deals the hands that you leave down. So hand and then foot. Okay. We would actually
Oh.
deal three hands, a hand you pick up and play. And then when you get your first clean, which is all red, like 7 red 7s or 7 red 6s, it has to be red.
Mhm.
When you get your first clean, you can pick up one of those other decks and start playing all of those other cards, the other cards from that first deck, and get a bunch more points. And then when you get if you get a clean and wild cards, which is a little harder, you can pick up that second deck. The object is the more decks you pick up, the more points you're going to get because you can start playing those cards on your stuff. And we
Mhm.
would end up with 3, 5, 6, 7, 8,000 points per round, which is stupid
Oh,
ridiculous.
wow.
And we'd write our scores down after every round, and we'd be like, "All right, we're gonna play to 100,000,"
Oh my
and we'd be
gosh.
playing for like 2, 3 hours. It was so fun, and the fact that grandma wanted to play that long with us, she enjoyed it too. Plus, she enjoyed our company probably. She was like, "My
Oh,
two little
yeah.
grandkids want to play cards with me." Um, but yeah, that was really fun. I miss playing hand and foot with my grandma and with Chris. It was really fun.
That is cool. I've never heard of that game either, so that's really cool.
You get into it, man, because you're scoring all these points, and you don't want the other person to get their, so you got to also pay attention to what you're discarding because somebody could
Oh.
be holding stuff and not showing you what they have, and then you discard what they need, and they pick it up, and then they make a book. It's like, there's all kinds of psychology to it.
Interesting. I mean, it kind of sounds like a a more fun solitaire.
Well, I mean, yeah, because you can't play it by yourself,
Mhm.
so let's advertise bicycle brand cards.
Oh my god.
No, let's not. They didn't pay for that. You gotta pay for that stuff. So, yeah,
Okay. So now it's time for our newest segment, Talking Trash.
and, this segment was actually this is the second time we're doing it, right?
Yeah.
And it was actually, I don't wanna say brought to us by, but it was thought up by, it was, conceived by, there we go. It was
Conceived.
conceived by one of our listeners. Shout out Jeannie.
Inconceivable.
Jeannie was like, "Hey, you guys should do a talking trash where you talk trash about the other person's thing." So, Jeannie, this one's for you because I know you're listening. So, I'm gonna start. I'm gonna talk trash about, and Miranda has no idea what I'm about to say, but she has to defend it. Get ready. Furbies.
Oh, Furbies are so cute. And the ones that we get from, I want to say McDonald's were super cute. They were tiny, their eyeballs would move. Some of them talked if you paid the big bucks and you got the nicer ones.
Mhm.
Um, I think Furbies still are a cool toy today. Like I would get a Furby for Riley or Hunter.
I think they're possessed like Chucky.
Oh my gosh. No, 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 no. They probably have a mind of their own because the ones that talk say they sound really like weird. Like, I remember them sounding like digital pets, basically, right?
Yeah, it was
Um,
their own little language that they had, and you had to pet them and do things to them, and then you
yeah,
thought it was turned off, but then 3 days later, it's in the corner and it says
yeah,
something to you, and you're like, "Oh, dang, this is alive. I'm not sure what's going
mhm.
on here." And you would have to get a young priest and an old priest and a rabbi, and you would have to
Oh my
bless it
gosh.
somehow, and then, you got
A
there
freaking seance for a Furby, could you imagine?
I think they had little spirits in them. I'm not sure what they were, yeah.
Oh no, they're so cute. I saw one at the thrift store the other day. I thought about getting it. I probably should have got it.
Dude, that would've been a good show and tell.
I should have
'Cause you'd
just
have been
got
like,
it.
"Oh, yeah? Bam."
But I don't think I know, right? I don't think that it was like one of the older ones. I think it was like one of the newer ones.
Oh,
But either way, I think they're so cute. My talking trash segment, my dad has to defend extreme hair trends. In particular, I'm talking about perms and rat tails. I can't go mullet because I kind of like mullets. So, rat tails, perms, go.
okay, so it's really hard to defend the perm because first of all, the word is short for permanent, and was the perm ever permanent? Hell no, it
No.
wasn't permanent. It was a temporary. They should have called it a temp, okay? Um,
Everyone getting their temps.
I realize I'm supposed to be defending it, but damn. Now I will say there are certain people that look good with a perm. Um,
Okay.
Probably about 4% of the population,
Okay.
and probably not white people. Uh,
Okay. I'm
because
picking up what you're putting down.
basically a perm is a jerry curl for a white person,
Right.
and
That's what I was gonna say.
I don't know why people thought that that was the way to go, in the '80s, but definitely suburban housewives took advantage of that when they went to the salon, and they were like there'd be a chart with, like, 10 perm that should be like, "Give me perm 7," and then they'd put her,
Oh.
they'd do it and put her under the hair dryer and all that good stuff, and, hey, man, she was good to go, she was feeling good, looking good. What are you gonna do, right? Because
And
when you look good,
honestly,
when you feel good.
perms are so popular today. I know in your defense, um, well, not in your defense, but in your defense of the defense, um, they're so popular today with, teenage boys.
Yes.
So and they look really good. So
But
honestly,
mullets are very popular too, like Theo Von.
yes,
Everybody wants to get the
yes.
Theo Von style, and that
Or a
doesn't look good
permed
either.
mullet. A permed mullet is, like, perfect.
Yeah, a permit,
Yeah, permit,
or
perfect.
is it a pullet? I'm
A
not sure.
pullet. There you go. They're
A m
both horrible.
a merm? Um, so I in my defense of perms, I would say that I can't really defend it. I mean, but like I said, suburban housewife, when she's feeling good, when mom's happy, everybody's happy. So if a perm makes mom happy, because my mom had them, then everybody's eating good and you're good for the day. Rat tails, I had some
Rat
friends that
tail.
had them, and there is no defense for a rat tail except for Fiskars. You cut that shit off. Okay. Yeah, and if you can't get that close, then
Perfect.
you can use some boppers, or do it at nighttime when they're sleeping. Nobody should
There
ever
you
have a
go.
rat tail. Rat tails
Right.
are not coming back. They shouldn't come back.
I was in a thrift store once. I made a little rat tail on purpose. I had like baby hairs and I just put it in a little braid. And there was a older lady behind me, and this is what she said. She
Oh, no.
said, she said, "I didn't know lesbians still had rat tails."
Oh my
I was
gosh.
like, and I just like walked away. I was like, "What the hell?"
How old were you? Was this last week or
Yeah, it was last week. It was probably like 10 years ago, but I was so embarrassed. I fucking got the hell out of Dodge, okay?
I'm surprised you didn't turn around and say something back to her.
What, hit on her like a true lesbian
Um,
would?
I wouldn't have went that way with it, but,
Um,
to each its own. Um,
no, I was mortified. I didn't know what to say. So I literally just booked it. I was
wow.
like, "Oh, what the hell? Okay, bye."
Huh, I didn't even know you were lesbian, so there you go.
No. No, no tea, no shade. But,
Okay. I'm surprised we got this far into the show without you showing people your new shirt.
oh, right. Bow. Check it out. Defend Your Gen merch is available.
Wow. That's,
Looks nice. Looks nice, right?
I think the link has to be in the comments, right, for that?
Oh, yeah. It'll be down
Alright, we're
there.
gonna do that. Or as I like to say, the description is in the link. I like to say things backwards like that when I'm doing my Wander Wisely YouTube, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Plug it in.
Oh, I will. Next week, I'm gonna wear some Wander Wisely gear. I was gonna wear it today, but I had to go with the Dutch Bros.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Nice.
But you see
Okay.
my Wander Wisely you'll see our Wander Wisely gear in our, we did a live that wasn't live yesterday because,
Oh.
obviously, I didn't have access to my YouTube because someone hacked all
Oh,
my stuff.
yeah. Mhm.
So, when we were doing the live yesterday in this office that wasn't really a live, we were like the whole concept was, "If you're seeing this, then I got my channel back," you know? And
Oh,
luckily now I can publish it because we got our channel back this morning.
thank gosh.
We got our Google back, our channel back. Somebody hacked me on Thursday when I was at a campground, and I basically was just stressing out for the past few days. I
Mhm.
realized that there is a way to get everything back if you go on, Twitter, X, whatever, and you contact, YouTube. They will help you get your Google back and everything back, and it took 5 days, which is not bad. A lot of people say it takes 2 to 3 weeks, so, man, this morning, I was just so glad to finally have access. Dude, I have so many ways to authenticate my stuff now. I have, like
Oh, thank God.
I'm like 6 layers deep on security now. It's
Mhm.
ridiculous. I have lists of passwords and numbers and all kinds of formulas and formats, and it just it's crazy. It's crazy. And I'm old school. I got everything written down, nothing saved on my phone, nothing saved where people can see it. So,
That's good because I
unless
have
you
all
guys
my passwords on my
unless
phone.
you guys figure out where I live and come and, take my stuff, I might have a gun, but other than that, you know,
I might have a couple pew pews.
but, nah, I would never do that. Anyway, sorry for the, going down the rabbit hole there, but just wanted to talk about that because my week's been kind of crazy.
I mean, I'm just glad you got it back and that you don't have to stress so much about it.
Yeah, that
But,
was a
dang,
some
let's
people suck, what can you say?
yeah, that's what she said, or he said. They all said.
Wait, okay. Why don't we, slide into our next segment?
Sounds good. Where are they now?
Who?
Another new segment. Dun, 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 dun. This week I wanted to do a deep dive into a band that I haven't heard in ages, which is Sixpence None the Richer.
Ooh.
Ooh. You may have heard their songs from 1999, Kiss Me, or There She Goes, and a lot of other popular covers. They actually disbanded in 2004. The lead singer did some solo projects, as a lot of these kind of bands do. and they actually reunited finally in 2024. So just 2 years ago, they released an EP called Rosemary Hill. Basically, I would just love to check it out and see if they still have that nostalgic sound.
Hmm. I
Yeah.
haven't thought about them in a while. What was that movie that the song was in? Um,
Ooh, I don't know. Tell me.
was it one of those Freddie Prinze Jr. movies?
Oh yeah, of course. It was all that or she's all that. She's all that.
She's all that. Yeah,
Yeah.
good movie.
Kiss me.
Yeah, I get reference credit for that.
I know.
Um,
And I thought about it earlier, but I was like, I just didn't I forgot to include it. But props.
that was really good. Sixpence None the Richer. I like that. If you guys haven't heard of them, definitely check out some of their songs. That they got their
Yeah.
own kind of they got their own kind of sound.
Yeah,
Definitely.
and I didn't know they were a Christian like alternative rock band. Like I didn't know that's what their like genre was, but yeah.
Mm, okay,
Interesting.
good to know. My Where Are They Now is pretty interesting.
Ooh.
And I think a lot of people have heard of this person, but they don't really know what they're doing nowadays. That's why it's great for this segment. And it is Christopher Thomas Howell, also known as C. Thomas Howell. He, of
Uh-huh.
course, played Ponyboy in
Yes.
Outsiders. I mean, that's
Yes,
all I
yes,
gotta
yes.
say. That's not all I'm gonna say, but that's all I gotta say. Um,
That's a
Couple of
good
fun
one.
facts. Yeah, C. Thomas Howell, come on, how could you not,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, super good
By the
one.
way, everybody in Outsiders became somebody. It
Stay
was
gold.
just kind of a ridiculous film that they had all that talent in one film as,
Great
you know, those
cast.
those young kids. Um, he actually nearly played Marty McFly from Back to the Future,
Wow.
because what's his name? Michael J. Fox
Mhm.
was busy with Family Ties, so he originally had to pass on it. So, it almost went to they had C. Thomas Howell and they had Eric Stoltz in mind, and
Yeah.
they actually started the movie with Eric Stoltz
I
and
know,
filmed.
I've seen the his version or whatever before he took over.
Yeah, they have outtakes and footage of Eric Stoltz for
Mhm.
the first couple months, and then they realized he's just too much of a serious actor to play more of a comedic role, and it's not what
Yeah.
they wanted. And then Michael J. Fox ended up being available, obviously, and they recast it to give Michael J. Fox the lead there, and which I mean, come on, that turned out amazing.
I know, but
Um,
honestly, either one of them I feel like would have been good.
C. Thomas Howell
I'm
turns
Oh, yeah.
down the Karate Kid, also,
Oh,
right? Which is
wow.
interesting too, because his fellow cohort, Ralph Macchio, ended up playing the Karate Kid, who was also in The Outsiders, right?
Mhm.
Um, he, uh, he passed on it because he was already cast to star in 1984's Cold War action film Red Dawn, which was
Hmm.
also amazing. But I don't know why he would have I mean, maybe there's stuff we don't know, but Karate Kid would have been, a starring role, whereas
Mhm.
Red Dawn, you're behind Patrick Swayze, so it's like, you're not gonna get many lines, which he didn't. You're not gonna get a whole lot of screen time, you know? So that would have been
Wow.
a big change for him and a whole different route, I think,
Right, 'cause
because if he
Karate
would
Kid
have.
spawned other movies, right?
Oh,
It was
yeah,
like 1,
and
2,
TV
3.
and the TV show, yeah.
Mhm. Oh, well, yeah.
Um And he was if you look on IMDb, it's funny because it shows that he was number 73 in VH1's 100 Greatest Teen Stars back in the day.
Oh.
Um, in 2003, he was hospitalized for 4 weeks because of a ruptured appendix, and your
Oh.
boy went through a ruptured appendix when he was 11 years old, so I know
Mhm.
exactly what that's like. I almost died. I was in the hospital for several weeks. Thanks for that, dad. Also, yeah, no, I think that's where I'm gonna leave that one because I'm just like C. Thomas Howell, apparently. You know, the whole ruptured appendix. We're appendix bros.
Uh-huh, that's awesome. I guess that is perfect segue because my childhood memory is actually a traumatic childhood memory and
Aren't they all?
shut up. And I'm going to talk about the time where I officially became Walmart trash.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say a woman.
Bro. I don't know. And maybe this was a favorite memory for you, honestly, but as I was told when I was 4, I was being a little shit, and this guy over here, he thought it would be funny to put my ass in a Walmart trash can.
Who did that?
Um, and I don't think I personally, like, remember it, I just remember the story behind it and being told about it a lot. So do you wanna kinda take it away, Dad, and tell the viewers and listeners what
Okay,
really happened?
so I got off work and your mom wanted to go to Walmart,
Uh-huh.
or as many affectionate people call it, Wally World.
Yes.
So we took you and your sister. You guys were only a year and a half apart, and
You still
you know
are.
that. Well, you still are. That's true. That never changed. Not sure why. So we took you and your sister, and we went to Walmart. And for some reason, like you said, you were just being a little shit. And you were just yapping and crying, and just I don't know. You needed to be fed. I'm not sure what the problem was. But you were probably what, 3 or 4?
Yeah, I think I was around 4.
So I think your mom was walking hand in hand with Megan, and I had you
Mhm.
in a basket. And we parked the car, we got out, we're walking toward the store, and I'm walking, and you're just like, "Nah, nah, nah, nah," and I was just like, I had a bad day at work. I just had it at that point. I was like,
Right.
nah. And we're walking by this, you know, I don't know what are they like 30 30 liter, the big barrel trash
Yeah.
cans with like, and they got the big black sacks in them, like the lawn leaf sacks, garbage bags. And I was like, and the guy had just changed it, and I saw him put the new fresh,
Mm.
new f- no, new fresh black bag in. I was like, and then for some reason, the fact that I saw that kind of made me think, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and do this.
I'm
And
gonna rehome my child.
part of me did it for a reaction to see what your mom would do, and part of me did it because I was just
Yeah.
so sick of just like being
Me.
there. Yeah. So I grabbed you out of the basket, picked you up, and placed you gently in the trash barrel. And I
Gently.
just I just turned, grabbed my car, and kept walking. And out of the corner of my eye, I saw your mom freeze, gasp, and just mouth ajar, and just like, what the hell did you just do? And I added more to it later. This part never actually happened, but I
Mhm.
added, because I saw it in a movie and I thought it was funny. I added that as I was walking, um, I passed a black dude, and he was like, "Man, that's a perfectly good waste of
Like
a white
a
girl."
white girl.
I saw it in a John
I
Cusack movie, and I
I
thought
always
that line was really so funny.
I love when you retell that because that's my favorite part.
So yeah, after about, I don't know, 15 seconds, I obviously went back and I got you out of there and put you back in the basket, and you were quiet.
I was like, "Put me back in my apartment, Dad."
So I don't want to say that it worked, but it worked.
I might
So,
have to try it with Riley.
so dads, if you're listening, next time your daughter's being a little biatch, you know, find a Walmart trash can and go to town.
Oh my gosh.
Thanks for bringing that up.
I mean, I don't know if your childhood, memory can trump that, so
You know, I
go
think I got
ahead.
a chance. I think I got a
Okay.
chance, a fighting chance. So in the 1980s, the MDA, Muscular Dystrophy Association, was really big as far as, I think it was backed by Jerry Lewis, and they had telethons, and they had a lot of different ways for people to donate money to them, to
Yeah.
help fight muscular dystrophy. So, unfortunately for me, or fortunately, however you want to look at it, my two older brothers, I mean, I have four older brothers, but it was really two that were just the criminals in this affair, decided that since 7-Eleven also helped muscular dystrophy donations in the way that they had these cartons at 7-Eleven that they kind of look like empty milk cartons,
Mhm.
but it had the official branding of the MDA on it, and little faces of kids, and please donate all over the thing.
Yeah.
So what you're supposed to do is grab some of those, go door to door, have people donate some dollars and some quarters, and then take it back to 7-Eleven and turn it in. What my brothers did was the first half. So they would give me one of those cartons and they'd be like, "We'll give
Mhm.
you $1 if you do this." We'd go around for
Just $1.
Saturday all day long. I'm talking like 8 hours. I'm not even sure if they gave me a lunch break. I would go around door to door with my cute little face. Sometimes I didn't even have to say anything, just hold up the carton. Everybody's always got a couple quarters they can put in, right? Or $1 or $2.
Mhm.
Sometimes you get a $5 bill from an old lady that was just really, happy to see somebody that day. And so I would go back to them with this full, or I'd go back to them. They're probably watching me, so I didn't dig inside and grab some money. So I think they're like around the corner. It's like just shoving me next to doors, and ring the
Yeah.
doorbell or knock on the door. And man, I would fill those cartons up. Like they owe them probably, hundreds of dollars at this point.
Dang.
And they would take that money, they would dump it out, they would give me like a buck, and they would probably take 20 or $30 themselves and split it between the two of them, Ted and Tom. Yeah,
Yeah.
Ted and Tom. I'm calling you out. You guys might need
Should
to
have
write a
asked
check.
him that on the live.
You guys might need to write a check for the MDA, give 'em a few bucks. But yeah, they would use me, push me to the door, get the money, and then give me a few shekels, if you will, to go play some video games down at 7-Eleven, maybe get myself a candy bar, maybe a marathon bar. Uh,
Oh.
gonna bring that back around the last episode.
Mhm.
And yeah, it was at the time I didn't mind it because I was a little kid. I didn't know what I was doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
you
I
you
was
told us about this story on the last episode.
well. I mean, hey, I
So
just
I
wanted more detail because I didn't use it as my childhood memory last time. It
okay.
it was just a random fact, but I
Wanted to expand on it a little bit. I you had to have been, like, pretty young to not, like, wanna get more money from them, right?
yeah, I mean, I was probably like 7.
Oh, okay, that's still, like,
Yeah,
pretty young. Yeah.
yeah,
Damn.
'cause I would have been, in 1980, I would have turned 8. So early 80, I was 7. Yeah.
Wow, okay, okay.
Yep,
I mean, hey,
yep,
as
yep.
long as you thought the deal was fair, then I'm not mad about it.
And I mean, when you got 4 older brothers too, you just kinda go along with stuff because 'cause you're happy to be involved in things, right?
Yeah, I do wish that a Ring camera, was there to film, though. I
Oh,
would
ring
love to see that.
wow. Dude,
I would
yeah, I would
love
love to
to
see the footage of me and what I said and what I did, and
Yeah,
then
and, like, them throwing you.
yeah, and probably see them in the background grabbing the container from me after the person gave me money, you know?
Yeah, did they have any nicknames for you as a kid?
I mean, my grandma used to call me Johnny Jaybird.
Johnny Jaybird. That's cute.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking about getting a tattoo of that with, like, a California Jaybird. That would look kinda cool.
Yeah, that's
But
cute.
and
I
that's
like that.
also the grandma that I played cards with all the time. We were really close actually for a long time when I was young. She was
Oh,
very, religious, and, Ted talked about her in the live where she was, like I don't know, I didn't remember her being religious, like, with them, like, when I was really young, but that's because I don't
mhm,
have a lot of memories when I was super young. But she played the piano really well, she sang in the church choir, she was, like, active in the community. Um,
wow.
she yeah, I also have some weird, like some memories, like, I remember one time I was with my dad in the mall, and we got ice cream cones, and
Mhm,
I was eating mine, I was so enjoying it, and all of a sudden, this presence comes over my shoulder because 'cause I'm sitting down, right?
mhm,
And just goes "Gromp" and takes a big bite of my ice cream cone, and I don't like, when I was that age, I was very, like, germaphobe, I don't, like, eat after people or whatever,
mhm.
and it was my grandma just taking a big bite of my ice cream over like, I was like this, and a bird came, you know what I mean?
That's what I
And I was
thought you
like
were gonna say.
and I was like, "Oh my god," and then she was like, "Hi," and her and my uncle were at the mall or something, and I'm like, "Yeah, why don't you just have the rest of that?" So I gave it to her, and she's like
Wow.
and it was lost on her, and she was like, "Oh, thank you," not like, "Oh, I'm sorry I ate
Right,
your ice
right.
cream," But she was like that, right? Things were
Mhm,
lost on her like that. She just, like, didn't even care to, even be that, like, present in what was going on.
mhm.
So there's those kind of things, but she also offered me $20 one time, which is when I told my dad this story, he's like, "No way," because she never gave anybody any money for anything. She was very income money, not outgoing money.
Right.
She gave me $20 if I would memorize the 23rd Psalm, right? And I spent weeks and weeks and weeks, and I memorized it, and I went to my uncle's house where she was living, and I said, "All right, I got it." And I told it to her verbatim, and she actually gave me the $20 on the spot. I was like, "Holy crap."
Do you still remember it?
The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me lie oh gosh, he maketh me lie in green pastures or something. Um, there's that whole part, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Um, thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. But that's close to. I mean, I missed maybe a fourth of it, but
Like
that's
I
pretty close.
paraphrased.
A little
Okay, that's
paraphrasing.
pretty good. That's pretty
Yeah.
good.
Now I'm gonna be
Wow.
thinking of that later, and I'm gonna be like, wait, okay, I got the whole thing.
Yeah, I know.
But
You're
just
gonna
off
get
the
it
cuff,
down.
I mean, that's not bad for what 30 years later, probably.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I don't have anything I feel like I memorize except the alphabet.
Can you
And no
say
one
that?
no no one's here to give you $20. Sorry.
No. And I'm sorry I messed up the 23rd Psalm for whoever's listening and go, "No, you got that part wrong, you got this part wrong." It is what it is. Like, if I really thought about it, I could get the whole thing, perfect.
It's all good, it's all good. That's pretty
"He
cool,
maketh
that's
me lie
pretty
down in
cool.
green pastures, he leadeth me beside the still waters." Like, I could really get into it if I wanted to, but
Oh my gosh.
let's not
Uh,
turn it into some Christian-based
yeah, I
program.
mean, we didn't grow up with much religion, so it's all good.
I kinda let you guys choose for yourself.
Yeah, choose your own adventure. All right, a random fact. Do, 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 do. My name Miranda comes from a movie starring a young Robert Downey Jr. and Mary Stuart Masterson, and it's called Chances Are. The plot is really, really bizarre. It's about Robert Downey Jr., who ends up falling in love with Miranda, and then slowly he realizes why he's so like fond with her and like is so connected, and that's because he was reincarnated. Her well, he was a reincarnation of her dad. And then when he like sees Miranda's mom, he's like, "Oh shit!" So it becomes like a weird love triangle situation. Super bizarre. I love that movie, but
You got it you got
go
it
ahead.
almost right. Like, he
I
didn't
just that's what I remember, and I just remember it being like what the hell?
I don't think he slowly realized it. I think he went into Robert Downey Jr.'s body. He knew right away, and then he kind of saw Miranda
Oh,
and
really?
and
Oh,
then,
okay,
like,
okay.
went after her as if, because he was in the body and he knew who she was. Um,
Oh.
and then so yeah, it's so weird because he's also the dad at that point, the guy inside, you
Mhm.
know, Rob
I
Downey
think his
Jr.'s body.
memory is wiped, right, or something like that, and then he's with Miranda?
Right, that's what I was gonna say is
Something.
he's the dad of the girl that the body of Robert Downey Jr. ends up being with, which is really weird.
Right.
So, that movie I don't think would be made today just because of
No.
the whole sexual weirdness of it, you know?
Yes.
But it was I liked the movie, and that's where chances are I came up with your name because of that movie.
Mhm,
Really good
mhm.
chances. And,
Yeah.
I didn't get much flack on that because I think that I had the naming rights to you, you know what I'm saying? Like,
The naming rights.
yeah, your mom got to name Megan, and I got to name you, and
Okay.
yeah, so there you have it.
I love it. I just love that there's, like, lore about my name, so and
Well,
it's perfect because we're so into pop culture that it fits, you know?
and I always liked Mary Stuart Masterson, who was in that movie, because I loved her from another
Some
movie, which
kinda wonderful. Of
Kinda
course I
Wonderful,
knew
which
that.
was when I was when I was that age, when Some Kind of Wonderful came out, I was a teen, and I realized I'm not a girl, but that was one of my favorite movies. In
Mhm.
fact, when I started chatting when chat rooms came out on AOL, and I was talking to some girl, and we were talking about our favorite movies, And I said that. She's like, "You're a guy, right?"
You're
I'll always remember that.
not a bit, right?
That was like my first chat room. I was like, "No, I'm a rat tail lesbian. What's your problem?"
Uh,
Anyway, I love the
we
lesbians. Got plenty of friends that are lesbians, so this is
okay, we're
not,
calling a truce on that. We're not breaking it up again. Okay, okay.
alrighty then. So let's talk about my random fact. Let's talk about facts, baby. Okay. Did you know, which you probably didn't, in the early to mid 80s, newly released movies on VHS? You know what a VHS tape is, right?
Of course.
If you were to go to Walmart, let's say, and buy a new movie on VHS, they were between $70 and $100 each.
Oh my gosh.
You would think I'm lying, right?
Yes.
So they were priced that way by the studios intentionally because they wanted consumers to rent movies, not buy them, to not
Oh.
eat into their box office profits. Okay, because renting movies was huge, and it really stopped a lot of people. I mean, there were just VHS movies sitting on shelves, you know,
Wow, I
until the
really didn't
price
know
came
that.
down. The sell through market, which was the mid to late 80s, uh, the home video market boomed, and studios realized they could make money selling directly to consumers at that point. So, like for example, in 1983, Paramount released Flashdance for $39.99, and by the late 80s, the sell-through price for major releases dropped to like 19.99,
Mhm.
and everybody started buying the VHS because it's like you can buy this movie for $20 and have it forever, or you can rent it for $5 or $6 and have it for 2 or 3 days. You know,
Mhm.
so and even blank VHS tapes cost like $7 or $8 each, and that's why eventually they would have like 3 or 4 packs, for like I don't know, maybe $15. But
Mhm.
yeah, tapes to record on were just it's so outdated and so funny to think of now, but they were the technology for the time and they were
I
expensive,
know.
you know? So now we're recording on this thing and we're never gonna run out of tape, right?
I know, but I'm such a physical media kind of person still.
I
That's
know.
what I prefer.
And then to put it in context, so $100 for a VHS tape back in 1985. So adjusted for inflation, that would be $280 today
Damn.
for a VHS tape.
Yeah, you gotta
Yeah.
really love that movie, and you haven't even seen it yet, so you would really have to love it.
I
Or love
know,
the
right?
actors or something.
Yeah, it would have to be something
That's
like Star Wars
crazy.
or something you're gonna watch a bunch of
Yeah,
times.
exactly.
I know.
Okay, well,
Yep,
that's a pretty good fun fact. I like both of ours. They were both about movies, so that's
me
cool.
too. Yeah, that's
And
true.
okay, that brings us to our last topic of today.
Oh,
It's
no.
gonna be burning question.
Oh,
So, my question to you is, what is your favorite fashion trend of the 90s? So basically, like, in your 20s. Um, if I were you, I would say something like, oh, like frosted tips, because that was like super of the times and I really loved it. And I know you did it. You and Andy both like did like a frosted tip bleach moment. Um, and I just think every generation, especially mine, has had experimental hair phases. But what would you say?
I would say guys with ponytails.
You love that?
I do, and they weren't regular, they were like little 4 inchers because I had one, and I
You
thought it was so
did?
cool. So my side profile, I had a little 4-inch ponytail and a huge Adam's apple because I was a skinny little twerp, right? Um, what's funny though is when you say frosted tips, the first thing I think of is Pacey from, Dawson's Creek.
Oh, yeah, he
Yeah,
had that for, like 2 episodes, like,
and I
just
never got my tips frosted. That sounds sexual, but it's not. Um,
I think maybe
Andy
you just bleached your hair then, because
so
you
what I
did
did was
you got the
I wanted to bleach my hair, and I wanted
Uh-huh,
it to be white, right?
uh-huh,
Because I mean, like, Kiefer Sutherland from Lost Boys. I mean, that
yeah,
so picture this white, that's kinda this style, but white. That's
right,
kinda like what I was going for even though I had longer hair, so no one told me that if you bleach my color hair,
it would be
the
orange,
first the first result is like a yellow,
yeah,
and it burned like hell, so I didn't wanna do it a second time because I was like, "I'm
mhm,
done." So I walked around 3 months looking like Big Bird because that's what color it was.
Yeah, I
And
know.
and I was like, "Oh my," 'cause I have, like, Halloween pictures with yellow
Yep.
hair, and I tried
Mhm.
to tell people, "Oh, yeah, that's part of my Halloween costume." Nah, it wasn't part of your costume, bro. You fucked up. So, yeah,
You
I can
just
tell
needed
you that
one more bleach process.
I know, but it was so painful. I
I
wasn't
know it
used to it.
is. You probably got a
Um,
chemical burn.
my brain was frying, dude.
No, yeah, it's a chemical burn. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
you
chemical
left it
burn,
on
which
too
reminds me
too
of, like,
long.
Fight Club or something, but so, I think Frosted Tips was probably I mean, some people looked really good in it, some people looked really
Yeah.
stupid with it, but, I think that's gonna make a comeback.
Oh, I love it. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. What's your burning
What
question?
um, which animal would you be and why? If you had to
Okay.
come if you karmically just kinda came back as something else, have you ever thought about which animal you would be?
Yeah, I mean, definitely it would be kind of one of my favorite animals. It's really a toss up between um an owl or a cat, and maybe leaning a little bit more towards owl because they're nocturnal, they can fly. I feel like the only thing I wouldn't really want to do is have to like, you know, kill other animals and eat them. But like,
Yeah, but it's
if you're
second
an animal,
nature.
you don't know, you know,
Right.
yeah. So it's
Why
definitely between that and a cat because a cat, you have like a more comfortable life if you're like in someone's house or whatever.
Yeah,
Um,
plus you have
so
9
yeah,
lives.
it it's really a toss up between the 2 because 'cause they're my favorite animals.
So, if you picked an owl, I understand why flying is cool, but why is
Yeah.
nocturnal cool?
Because I'm like a night owl, you know? I like the night. I like to do things at night. I like to
I
stay
like
up
the
at
night,
night.
I like to boogie.
Yeah.
I love the nightlife, I love the boogie. Um, okay, I understand the whole owl thing, plus our last name kind of,
Right.
what
Mhm.
kind of owl?
The one on my arm. No. Um,
Oh,
I don't know, even a snow owl would be cool.
yeah.
That
I
would be
think
really
even
cool.
a barn owl or a hoot owl, that would be kinda cool. Or
Any
an
kind of
old
owl.
gray owl. Gray owls live to be pretty old, so that would be kinda good. Have you ever seen, like, on the internet, they show you pictures of an owl without their leaves, and
Yes, yes,
it's a really tiny, skinny nothing?
yes.
And when you add when I said leaves, when you add their feathers, it's just, like, so bulky and stuff. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
weird.
I would be a fattle owl for sure.
You'd be a well-fed owl.
Yes.
You'd be eating junk food, you'd be eating 3D Doritos and shit.
Yeah, no terzepatide sounds.
Um, I would have to be an elephant, and couple reasons.
Uh-oh.
They're deeply and emotionally intelligent. They
Oh,
have
that's
an
cool.
they have tight-knit family structures. Obviously, they have an incredible memory, and they're loyal, they're wise, and they nurture each other. So I think that
Mhm.
either that or a killer whale, kind of for the same reasons, actually. You travel in a small pod, you're very smart, they hunt together, and they're known as kind of the king of the ocean, you know? Same as elephants, they're really hard to kill. They're kind of the top of the food chain because if something comes after them, they kinda group together, band together, and, do what they gotta do, get their business done. I think it'd be really cool to be one of those 2 things, and they both live a long time.
I'm too afraid of the water to be anything under the sea, but, I think being, an elephant would be pretty cool. Like, I've seen documentaries how they, like, um, go and find water and they seek, like, other areas, and they'll make really long trips to find
Right.
their destination. I'm like, "Whoa," like, it's kinda like birds, like, how do they know where they're going? It's kinda crazy.
And they're very migratory, and they help each other, which is really cool. They have their own sounds they make, and they help others that are in stressful situations, which a lot
Mhm.
of animals will not do?
That is pretty cool, actually.
Yeah. So, I think the
Yeah.
elephant's the way to go for me.
Okay. I like that. I don't know. If I go elephant versus owl, they're very, very different. But
I
yeah,
mean,
I don't
flying
know.
would be really cool, obviously. the
Yeah.
ability to fly. But if I was going to be a bird, I would probably pick something more like a bald eagle or a red-tailed hawk or something like that. Or even a duck. And you're gonna laugh, but a duck, if you think about it, they can fly, they can swim, and they can walk. So they have,
Honestly, a
you're
good
kind of
combination of a lot of the aspects that we like.
right.
Hmm.
So, and they're also never really alone, right?
Mhm.
Um, you see one duck, you see two ducks, you see
That
10
is
ducks.
that is really true, and they always find the water. I mean,
Although I don't think they live very long. I mean, they can't live more than a few years, right? I don't know.
well, and people actually eat them,
True.
so
But
that
I mean, do many people eat elephant or owls? Probably not.
no, that's why I said that.
Yeah, owls can't be good eating. That's just bones.
It's literally just bone.
Bones and feathers.
Ah,
All right. Well,
alright.
on
Well,
that note,
yeah, so that wraps up another episode of Defend Your Gen. The categories are on the table, but the final verdict is completely up to you. Go down to the comments now and drop your votes. Did Gen X school yours truly, or did his kid actually make some good points? Don't forget to subscribe or follow so you don't miss the next rematch next week.
We hope you had a good time, but it's all over now. Bye, bye, bye.